Hi guys, welcome to the medical method. Today I'm going to do a quick video comparing and contrasting the GAMSAT, the UMAT, the graduate process and the undergraduate process and how I went through it. So I'll start off with those kids in school out there, okay? I cannot stress enough how important it is to do well in the UMAT. Okay, be it preparation courses, to be honest, preparation courses are probably the best way to do it because the UMAT is very much a pure aptitude test. So there's 3 sections. You do a section on pure problem solving where they give you sort of like quite intense problems. So like they'll give you big mind maps, big hard diagrams to understand, and you've got to basically answer questions. They'll give you maths questions. Look up Raven's puzzles. That's a really good sort of insight. Raven's puzzle is actually what the math section is based on. It's basically when you get like a square and you have a bunch of different objects following their own pattern in each step. So you have to work out the pattern of each individual thing, then work out how they integrate, and then answer questions about what comes third, what comes fifth, all that kind of stuff. Look up Raven's puzzles, as in the bird, R-A-V-E-N, Raven's puzzles, okay? And then the final section is patient dialogues. Now, I was terrible at this section, and this is a section I would have studied for the most. But unfortunately for me, my careers advisor sort of looked at my report, was like, yeah, you're pretty smart, don't study, right? Worst advice ever. I missed out by one raw score point on getting into an interview, and I got 99.75 as an ATAR. So I would have had a pretty good chance of getting in. But because of my ignorance and my careers advisor's sort of poor effort, we sort of failed to prepare accurately and well enough. So prepare for the UMAT. Look up MedEntry. That's very much a good resource. Look up Raven's puzzles. Do any problem solving you get your hands on. And for the patient dialogues, again, I would recommend reading because I could always understand them, but it was like the intricacy of it. Like, is the person disgruntled, upset, or angry? It's very slight intricacies that make the difference in the UMAT, and you have to really know what words mean what. So I definitely look into a lot of reading. Again, look up my other videos. I think it's GAMSAT section 1, but it's called Project Gutenberg ebooks. I'll put the link in the description below. Get onto that, read some hard books, get yourself prepared to understand what people are thinking and feeling. Besides that, I feel like the UMAT is definitely, it depends. It's harder to prepare for, but it's probably easier to do well because there's less competition. The GAMSAT, every kid there is probably going to prepare to some degree, and because it's easier to prepare for, you have to do better to get high grades. So yeah, that can be my advice for UMAT. Prepare, okay? Now, because I didn't get in, I went straight into Monash Science, and I want to explain to you a quick thing about going into university. Establish what graduate goals or goals you have before you start university. It is so important because when you get to university, you're pretty much on your own. You don't realize how much you're being pushed at school until you get to university, okay? No one is going to be there to force you to do anything. It's all up to you. So if you have a clear goal of where you want to be in 3 years, it's much easier to motivate yourself to get there. So I had a clear motivation that I wanted to do medicine, and it did falter at points, I'm not going to lie, because I was pretty disappointed about not getting in. But beyond that, once you sort of overcome that goal pushed me to do well, like I always have in school, throughout university, without someone telling me to do my homework, telling me that I have something to do. You need someone there. Okay, so make good friends, of course, have a great time, but make sure you have a clear goal. This goes for any pursuit. If you want to do engineering, all this stuff, make sure you have a goal. Because if you're goalless, you'll end up stop going to university, and that's where it goes all downhill. You start going part-time, skipping years. It's bad, okay? Make sure you have a clear goal at the start of university. Okay, now I'm going to talk about quickly what the GAMSAT involves and how to go about it. Now, I know the GAMSAT's coming up soon. For all of you who don't know, I'm sure you know, but I'll give you a quick intro. There's 3 sections. One section is humanities questions. A bit different to the UMAT though. The humanities questions are more reading comprehension, so Charles Dickens, Jane Eyre, Jane Austen. They really, really love Freud. If you don't know who that is, look him up. It's all these intense philosophical discussions about reality, places in reality, roles of self, all these really, really difficult things to comprehend, let alone in a time-constrained test where they're going to ask you questions, okay? So my quick tip for that section, read a lot. You need to read a lot to do well in the GAMSAT, just hands down. Second section is you got to write 2 sort of quick essays, little bits of prose about a set of quotes or one quote, depending on how you look at it. Again, the best way to practice this is writing a lot. Get your old English teacher, get someone who knows how to write well to mark your essays, just basic structure, because the ideas is the important part. Get really complex ideas, but also have clarity and thought in the way you present it. So reading, again, for section 2 is important because you just get better at writing from reading, and also heaps of practice, okay? And then section 3 is sort of problem solving mixed with maths questions, mixed with a little bit of physics, quite a bit of chemistry, and biology questions. My tip for this section is actually sort of counterintuitive. I would say practice questions, again, heaps of them, but I would sort of back off the specific study. I'll get into that in another video. So that's sort of an introduction of the UMAT and the GAMSAT, and I hope that I've sort of given you an idea of how difficult it actually is once you're in university to maintain a graduate goal. There's so many distractions. Also, you can go part-time. Like, no one is making you stay the 3 years. So you need to be focused, okay? If you're doing a graduate pathway, my one piece of advice is to be timetabled, pretend it's school, and always go to university. Once you start getting in the habit of not going, trust me, we've all been there, it is a never-ending cycle. Because you don't go, then you convince yourself that you don't need to go because you've already missed something. Then you try and do work from home, you never catch up, you end up cramming all the lectures in one night, and then probably doing way, way worse on tests than if you had gone, okay? So I'm going to finish there, and thanks for watching.